Welcome to the Digital Photography Podcast Video Edition, episode number 24. In this episode, I'm going to do a little Photoshop tutorial. We're going to start off here in Lightroom, and we have a photo up here that I like the photo. I like the composition of it. This locomotive here parked, and the man standing out here having a smoke break while this other one's passing by. But the sky is completely blown out, and I don't like that at all, and I think the foreground is a little bit overexposed as well. So we're going to take this photo out of Lightroom and do a little bit of work in Photoshop and then bring it back into Lightroom. So first thing we'll do is we'll right click on it, or control click, and or command click, and go to edit in Photoshop. And we're going to edit a copy with the Lightroom adjustments. Go ahead and do that, and it'll open up in Photoshop here in just a split second. And I'm going to go ahead and minimize Lightroom so that we don't get confused here. So now we have Photoshop open, and first thing we want to do is go to the Layers palette and do a Control J or Command J to duplicate the background layer, so we're not working on the background layer. And we go to Layer 1. And first thing I want to do is select all of the sky. I use the magic wand tool, and it looks like I got most of it right there. I'm going to shift click and pick up a little bit more of it, and I think I also want to pick up this mountain back here because it's blown out pretty well too. So I want to try to pick up all the blown out areas, and looks like I think I got all of it there. And now we're going to go to Refine Edge and see what our edge looks like. Looks like we picked it up pretty good and didn't get any of the locomotive, so we're going to leave this. Well, let's see, we're already on expand feather here. Okay, we'll feather that at about 3. We'll see what that looks like. Okay, so I've got the sky selected. Now I'm going to go to Select Inverse, which means now I've deselected the sky and selected everything else. I'm going to press the Delete key. And I thought that would work. It doesn't work. Okay, so we'll use the Eraser tool. Oh. It did work actually, but I had the background layer showing, so you couldn't tell. Silly me. Okay, so now we have deleted everything off of layer 1 except the sky. So now we're going to go to the gradient tool and select this one here where it's solid to clear, and select sort of a light sky color. Let's zoom out just a little bit so we can see what's going on here. Go back to the gradient tool, drag it down to about there. Command Z. I am still in the inverse selection, so let's re-invert it and try that again. Okay, there we got a little bit of sky. Let's try a darker color. Okay, that's looking okay there. And then the very darkest. Okay, now we've got some blue in the sky. I'm going to go back to one of the lighter ones and actually go in the opposite direction to fill in down here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Turn on the background layer, deselect the selection, and there we've got a little bit of blue sky. So now what I want to do is select the background layer and go to Image, Adjustments, Levels, and see what I can do about, there we go, just darkening that up just a little bit so it doesn't look quite so blown out in the foreground. And then we'll just close this, save it, and it should take us right back into Lightroom. And there's our new image with the adjustments. And here's the old one. No, There's the old one. And there's the new one. See, just a couple of minutes in Photoshop, adding a little bit of blue to that sky and playing around with the foreground there a little bit. I think we've come up with a much better image. That's it for this episode, just a quick Photoshop lesson.